Today's question: do you have trouble making money or hanging on to money? Or do you feel stress when you're thinking about money? Any money issues? Do you feel like you've tried everything to change that, but something's just holding you back? You're doing something that is just, you can't figure out what it is that's holding you back. Well, today's topic is finding those blocks that are holding you back in order to be able to manifest money in your life.
Yes, indeed. Today, I'm going to share with you my story because I think it's a really good example of how deceptive these subconscious blocks can be. Because most of us are looking at money, and we're looking at, we have an issue with money, whatever that issue is, and then we're looking for the cause. And sometimes we think the cause is in our environment. It certainly looks that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But even for those of us who discover, okay, so there's something going on in my subconscious, we tend to look for issues, beliefs about money, subconscious beliefs about money. And so I'm going to share with you how I discovered that that the original cause can actually be nothing to do with money. So towards the end of 2015, I was renting a room in a shared house in Gloucester in England, cleaning other people's houses for a living, and unable to pay my bills, still unable to pay my bills. Even though I was doing cleaning work, it still wasn't enough. And I to get to that point, so I was 51 years old at that point, and getting to that point, I had spent my whole life struggling financially, no matter what I did. And I tried really, really, really hard. So I worked hard. I tried budgeting. I tried saving. And what happened was every time I started to get forward a little bit, something would happen to bring me back to that status quo of struggle. So, for example, I would get a job, a new job or some new money or something, and the money would come in, and then my car would break down, or I would get ill, or somebody wouldn't pay me, or the job would fall through, or I'd literally lose the money. Like, I remember once I had my rent and someone stole my wallet with all the cash in it, and I couldn't pay my rent. So that whatever would get me back into that same state of financial struggle. And it was so frustrating because I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. I was trying really hard, not only in a practical way, so working hard, trying to come up with business ideas, I had, jobs, I was just doing everything I could. Not only that, but also personally. So I was changing myself. I was changing my beliefs. The first thing I came across along these lines was Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Sure.
I saw him interviewed on Oprah one day and got the book and studied it and thought, this makes perfect sense. Yes, subscribe me, I'm in. And I did everything that he said. And I continued to struggle, and then of course the movie The Secret came out about the law of attraction, and again it made perfect sense. And I'm very good at following direction. As a professional actress, I'm very good at following instructions.
Sure.
So, and I will do exactly as they say. So, and the reason I'm pointing that out is this was not about I'm not doing it right, although that's what I was told when I reached out for help. I'm doing visualization. I genuinely changed my beliefs I genuinely believed that I deserved money. There was abundance. The universe is abundant. All of those things that you hear in The Secret and that you hear law of attraction teachers teaching, I got to the point where I believed all of that, and my finances did not change. I mean, it would be up and down. Sometimes it looked like it was getting better, and then it would get back to struggle again, back to I can't pay my bills. So
right.
I'm not talking about, I wish I had more money. I mean, literally, the rent is due and I don't have it, and my bank account is overdrawn. It's not just that there's
Right.
little money
Right.
in it, there's less than no money in it. So, and a lot of debt and everything, you know, I mean, it was pretty hectic. And so I kept trying to look for the solution, because I thought, and at one point I thought, maybe I'm just not meant to have money. You know, maybe it's like Oliver in Oliver Twist,
Right.
where no matter how many times he asks for more, and if he uses a different bowl or he asks in a different way or whatever, he's never going to get more, because that's not the story. And I actually, at my lowest point, thought, this is it. I'm just not meant to have any, I'm not meant to do anything but struggle. And so towards the end of 2015, I found some information. I'd been researching the subconscious and the brain-body connection, and the subconscious in particular. And I discovered, kind of long story short, because it is quite a long story, I discovered that that there are subconscious references that your brain, your subconscious is continuously referring to that evidence from childhood that proves you don't deserve, or it's dangerous, you know, to be wealthy, or whatever the situation is you're in. So I thought, okay, so I'll look for these references, and I was looking for the money ones, and there were plenty of those. But what I discovered was that it's the ones that are not about money that are the most powerful. So I had already changed my money beliefs. But what I discovered was, so there's 3 questions you can ask. Number 1, how do you know you have a problem? And my answer was, I don't have enough money to pay my bills. The second question is, how does that feel? And it felt like they want something of me and I don't have it to give them. So it feels like they want, you know, I want to give it, but I just don't have it. I wanted to pay my bills, I just didn't have the money. And the third question is, where in your childhood did you feel that? And it was my whole childhood. And it was nothing to do with money. It was about expectations. So it was about, they want me to be something that I just don't have. It's not who I am. It's not. So it was that constant struggle again. So there was that. There was, if you ask, you don't get, which was a kind of politeness thing, teaching children manners. We were taught, you know, if you ask, you don't get, you wait to be offered. And my little brain took it literally, and I probably experienced times where, can I have a chocolate? Well, no, now that you ask, you can't have it. You have to wait to be offered, wait to be offered. And that explained why I was scared to ask for work. I felt reluctant to ask for work. I had resistance to asking to be paid for anything I did. So I would give things away. I published a book, and I was doing a free talk somewhere, and somebody said, oh, how much is your book? And I said, oh, don't worry. I just gave it to them. Because I would go into fight, freeze, flight when I invoiced someone. And that explained why, because as I was thinking of asking for the money, asking to be paid, asking for work, asking for anything, my subconscious was referring to the so-called fact from proof in my childhood that if you ask, you don't get. But the problem is, I didn't consciously know that. So I wasn't consciously thinking that. I was just feeling resistance and didn't know why.
Right.
So those are 2 of the main examples. And then the other one was that money can be represented by a person as well. And I'm going to let you get a word in now, because I've been talking non-stop. But hopefully that gives you an idea of the kinds of references you can have subconsciously that are have nothing to do with money, which may be why you haven't found them yet. And sorry, I just want to say as well, so then I changed them, is the point. I changed those childhood memories to the opposite, positive and empowering, so that now my subconscious is referring to completely different evidence. So I don't have those issues anymore. It's completely changed. So sorry.
No, and thanks for sharing that. I think that that's a really powerful story. But the major point to remember is that everybody has a story similar to that. Whatever it is that you're experiencing with money. So if your issue is, I can't hold on to it, or I can't make it, or
I'm scared.
There's a feeling of there's not enough.
Right.
Whatever the feeling is that's being created around the money is what's important, because your subconscious is using the issue of money in order to create that feeling.
Right.
And that feeling was established in your early childhood as a normal feeling, as a homeostasis feeling, as what feels normal in my life. Right. So, quick example, and I'm not going to go into the story, but I grew up with that feeling of there's not enough. So for me, money is there was that feeling of there's never enough, which going through the similar process is going back into childhood and finding that feeling of there's never enough love. There's never enough hugs. There's never enough affection. That feeling of not enough became a homeostasis feeling for me in my childhood. And then what we end up doing then is to subconsciously do the dance. Subconsciously find something, someone, and in a lot of our cases, it can be money or a job or whatever.
Or health or a relationship.
That will help me maintain that same feeling and those same beliefs that I learned in childhood. So yes, I may have an issue with money right now, or manifesting money or holding on to money, but that's not the original cause or the original source. So a lot of times we're looking for something to fix regarding the money, but money is not the issue.
That's right.
It's whatever caused those original beliefs and the original homeostasis feeling in the beginning.
Exactly. And sometimes it can be, that you were ill as a child, and now in some way the money is recreating whatever the worst thing was about being ill. So maybe, a possibility is I was ill as a child, which meant I could never do what I wanted to do. I could never take part in the activities I wanted to take part in. And now as an adult, I'm healthy, but now I don't have enough money to do what I want to do. So that gives you an idea of, how do you know you have a problem? So it may be, in my case, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, or it may be I feel like I can't leave the job I'm in, which feels frustrating, or I feel like I'm trapped. I feel ashamed. I feel, I feel guilty. So many different possibilities. And then where did I feel that in my childhood? And the most important thing is, don't look for the money, look for the feeling. It may have nothing to do with money. It may be I was bullied in school. It may be my parents divorced. We had to move and I was devastated. My dog died. Loss of grandparent. I mean, there's just so many options. So that's what you're looking for. All right. I think that's it. Oh, and very excitingly is we've got a new email course, a mini email course coming out. That sounds so cute, doesn't it? A mini email course,
tiny one.
Manifesting Money mini course, which is based on what I did to change my life from going from struggling to, unable to pay my bills and, doing work I hated and all that, to doing what I love for a living and living here and, all of that. So based on that, I'm going to be sharing what I did and taking you step by step through it in this mini course. And it will be launched next week. So look out for that. We will post it on obviously on Facebook and everything. We'll also send it out to our email list. So you'll, look out for that.
So if you do have questions, as always, put them below in the comment section. We always love the questions. We always answer all the questions. If you like what you see here, give us a thumbs up on the various platforms. Share it around.
Yes, do share our videos with
and I think that'll do for this week, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.
It's okay. It's all right. Then you paused it.
Just paused it?
Yeah. It says due to a poor wireless connection, your video has been paused. Yes, it's still. Now use what you teach.
Well,
We could still be on.
the truth of the matter is that everybody's sitting here watching.
Yeah, watching us going. Well, just in case we are still live, we've got a message on here that tells, "I can see you."
Just so you know, we've got a message that says trying to reconnect due to poor wireless connections.
Yeah.
The video has been paused. So thank
The
you.
video. Thank you,
Harriet.
Harriet.